Hi everyone, my name is Brandy West, as you all know, and this is my dance research media project for Dance and World Culture. Today we are going to be talking about the lion dance, specifically in China. And while we do that, I'm going to show you a brief sped up version of how to create your own Chinese lion craft, so you can have your own little lion to move around. I decided to do this because I'm going to be an elementary school teacher, and I can definitely see me doing this in the classroom around New Year's to teach about other cultures and what they do to celebrate. So just to start off, I'm going to tell you what materials you need, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the lion dance so you have kind of a background. So your materials, you're going to need some glue. Hot glue usually works the best, but I can't find my glue gun, so I have this and some staples today. You're going to need a black marker, some scissors, different color construction paper. Red has to be one of the colors because it's like the inside of the mouth, red or pink. But any other color works for the rest. You may want some of these googly eyes, or you can just draw the eyes, it doesn't matter. And then you might need some feathers or tissue paper to decorate. And you need 2 straws. And then to help you out, you need 2 circles. One big and one small. I'm using drawer lids and candy lids to help me out, just because I can't draw a circle without something to trace it. But anyway, so that is our materials. I believe that's all. So to start off, I'm gonna let you know about the Chinese lion dance, just a little background. So as we know, there's a lot of dynasties in the past in China. One of them being the Qin dynasty, which is from 255 to 206 BCE in China. And during this time is when we start looking at the possession rituals and performances and dance in the country and throughout Asia. As we know, we've learned about the Korean mass dances. We had mass theater dramas. We had, possession dances in Africa. So during this time, China started doing this, and they would use costumes of animals like bears and different things to embody, so that the spirit could come through them and they would look like the animal. They would embody the spirit of the animal. So the lion dance, its purpose, it's primarily on New Year's, but there's actually world competitions for it because it's that serious and that hard to do. But it's to scare away the evil spirits, so that the next upcoming year, is fine, and that they find peace in knowing that these evil spirits are scared away. So maybe the next year will be better. I learned about this from my roommate. She's from Vietnam. Their New Year's is called Tet, and during the Tet New Year, they use a unicorn to bring good fortune instead of a lion. Throughout Asia, it's different things, but it's all about the same concept. Usually a lot of people think of the dragon, and the lion really does look like a dragon. I think so. They don't like that though. It's a different thing. This is a lion dance, not a dragon. But she told me that, I was going to do it over Vietnamese, primarily, but there's just not as much information on it as China, just because China's a lot bigger and there's just more known about it than other smaller Asian countries, especially where communists exist, like North Korea. We don't really know much. But yeah, so let's see here. But what happens is they perform this on New Year's. It gets rid of the, bad spirits, and I was just thinking that, this upcoming year or this upcoming New Year's, I feel like this is going to be super important. You're going to see it probably a lot more if, celebrations are allowed, just because this year has had, so much bad happen. I feel like there's going to be a lot of these performed to try and make 2021 better. So fingers crossed that gets it done. The lion scares COVID away, because it's been a rough year. But yeah. So to start us off, I went ahead and did some of this, otherwise we'd be sitting here all day watching me do this. You're going to draw 2 circles. The smaller one needs to be red for the inside of the mouth, or pink. And the bigger one's going to be the start of your head. So it can be any color. I chose green, Christmas. And then you're going to glue one on top of the other. So the basic costume of the lion dance is super important. The head is made out of bamboo sticks, and either silk, paper mache, satin covers it to give it that prettier look. It's a huge costume. The head can weigh up to 20 pounds. And I actually looked on a website, like where people buy these costumes. All of the sets, like the full costume sets, are over $800. So that's how hardcore this is. And a lot of people own them because it's that important to their culture. So now that you got it glued on, we have to make some teeth, which I didn't do yet, but I can do that now. But the costumes are genuinely, generally, they're very colorful, and the musicians that perform along with them also wear very colorful outfits. It's just bold. It makes it more noticeable. And also, as I said, you know, it's used to scare spirits away, the evil spirits. You know, we have these bold colors like red and different things. It just makes you seem more powerful than if you were wearing a dull color like gray. It's also very festive. Let's see here. So with the lion dance, the reason they chose a lion is, as we know from watching like The Lion King or The Wizard of Oz, lions symbolize bravery and courage. And in China, during the shaman's rule, they especially believe that animals could be gods. And of course, you know, the most majestic and grand god would be a lion. You know, he's the king of the forest. So that's why we have a lion. And also, you know, they're going up against, they truly believe they're, you know, when they're performing this, they truly believe they're scaring these spirits away, especially in the past. I don't know about so much as now. You know, people believe different things. But in the past, they really did believe this. And so you won't want to go up against an evil spirit dressed as a rabbit or, you know, like a cat. So, yeah. So now I'm going to glue these on the teeth. Okay. And also, it's important to note that lions are not usually from China. The reason they know that lions exist was because of the Silk Road and the trade. People would start bringing lions with them. And so that's how they learned about lions, to even know that they existed, to use them for their dance. And of course, you know, with this costume, it's like huge. And it's supposed to be where you can't really see or notice the performer. Because it's not about the performer. It's about the spirit. So everything they do embodies the lion and makes it seem as if the lion is the one performing. So as you can see, I got my teeth. So next you're going to want to make a nose, which I went ahead and did. Nose. And eyeballs. As you can see, I folded the bottom because you want it to stand up. It's kind of a realistic thing. I was watching a YouTube video from this past year in Hong Kong, this 2019 New Year's, and they were performing the lion dance. And I can just imagine, like, being on the road and this coming down the street towards you. It is huge. And And the way it hops around is kind of scary. So if I was an evil spirit, I'd definitely be scared of it. So I can see where they're coming from. They're 100% correct. So the training that goes into this. So when doing the lion dance, you need to know 3 things. You need to know martial arts. You need to also know the dance itself, how to maneuver the costume. And then you need to know how to play the percussion and how to do the instrumentation for it. And that's the order you learn. Martial arts, the dance itself, percussion. Music is so important to it that it comes last. Like, you need to know how to do everything else before you can even touch an instrument. And sometimes the music will lead the dancer. Sometimes the dancers will lead the music. The primary instruments are the cymbals, the gongs, and the drums. And you will usually see all 3, and the musicians are just as much as the performance as the lion is. The one example of when, like, the music is followed by the dance, follows alongside and doesn't lead the dance, is I read when the audience can hand the lion a red envelope, which you see a lot in Asian cultures for New Year's. Usually has money in it. For the lion dance, however, has like vegetables in it. Thank you. It has vegetables in it for the lions to eat to like regenerate health. And what will happen is the music will stop, wait for the lion to open it, play some like upbeat suspenseful music as it eats it, and then plays like beats to like symbolize like him spitting out the food and chewing it, which I think is really cool. I think that's awesome too that they give out money and like vegetables in envelopes. Can you imagine if we did that during New Year's? Like, it'd be awesome. So yeah, here's our head to start off. It's cute. So, I'm going to talk about martial arts here for a minute. So, the first reason martial arts exist within the lion dance is during the Maoist movement and the Cultural Revolution in China. The Maoist movement wanted the Chinese culture to line up with their doctrines. And, you know, in that time, martial arts was really important in China. So a way to make it line up with their doctrine is if they could get into the martial arts schools and switch up some of the teachings and switch it up to some things they wanted the people of China to know how to do. So the martial arts schools wanted to keep their teachings around and relevant and alive. So how they did that is they would add it into the lion dance. That way, like, it could still stay relevant, but the Maoist people, you know, leaders over that wouldn't recognize it because they would be like, oh, it's just the dance. They didn't realize they were actually learning how to fight behind the scenes during this dance. Another reason martial arts is so important is because, as we said, they're facing evil spirits. What a better way to do that than to have some kung fu training in there to show off some cool, scary, quick moves to frighten them away. And the third reason is just because some of the movements they do require so much precision and focus and strength and balance that martial arts really contributes to that. So sometimes they'll have these like pedestals that they'll like stand up on and hop around with their feet with this huge costume, and they can't fall off. The strength that they have to have, you know, in the legs and their arms. You know, the head is like 20 pounds itself. There's 2 dancers. One is up front and holding the head. One has the rear. Sometimes it'll stand up on 2 feet for the rear, like it's standing straight up. That means that dancer has to hold up their part of the costume, the person up front, and the head, and the rest of the costume. That is so heavy. And they'll do it on these little skinny pedestals and not fall off. The amount of balance and strength, focus that takes, which is why martial arts is super important, and it's just so much, you know, training instilled into you. But it's important enough to them that they're willing to do it, and the people that can perform this dance are just so highly just appreciated, because they really are, they're doing a service for the people. They're helping, you know, good fortune for the new year. Sometimes during the dance they'll like roll around on the ground and you never see it. Like you never see the people. Like they do it so, you know, synchronized. The body is so big, and like the costume has so many layers that like is constantly moving. They have eyelids in their mouth they can make move. So it really does look like there's an actual animal just like roaming the streets, and it looks like it's alive. It's so cool. And it, you know, it just takes so much training to do that. So I'm going to show you my next part. So now we got the head and the body. I'm having to look on here as well to remember what to do. Okay, so I'm going to do the feathers last. So first, you're going to want to cut out a bunch of strips of paper, which I already did and put together. But you just want these little short strips, and what you're going to do to make the body is you just fold it, and then I stapled it, and then you fold another one through. We used to make these out of like bracelets in school. I don't know if anyone else did that. And then look, so cute. And you're going to staple them all together, as you can see I already did. And then you're going to take one straw and staple it or tape it on the inside. And then you're going to take the other one and have it on this side of the body. I'm going to tape this because I don't want to have a staple to where you can see it. But if you get the chance, definitely just look up a video of this happening. You'll probably remember seeing it. Like, it's super popular. Like I said, there's world competitions for it. Like, it's a big deal. A lot of the Asian cultures in America perform it over here during New Year's as well. My roommate Mian said she goes to a little thing sometimes in Nashville, and they'll do it, which is super cool. All right, now that we got it together, our last straw. Let's see how I can do this without messing it up. Of course, right as I do that, I'm out of staples. So I'm gonna glue it. But as you can see, and this is exactly how it moves. So you have the person in the rear, the person up front, and they're constantly communicating, constantly working hand in hand. You can't do it by yourself. You definitely have to have that communication. And they're moving. They can stand straight up, as I said, like this. Make it look like it's on its feet. And this person in the back has so much work to do. And this person up front has to have so much trust in this person in the back not to drop them. But anyway, you can add some feathers to it. I'm out of glue and staples, so I'm not going to do that at the moment. But I'll show you a final product when I do it. But this was the lion dance. To just sum it up, the instrumentation, cymbals, gongs, drums, super important. Music goes hand in hand with the dance. There's two performers, one in the front, one in the back. The costume made out of bamboo sticks and whatever type of paper mache or silk. The lion embodiment, you know, the majestic and the courage that they have to embody to face the evil spirits, to ward them away from the new year, and just the background and the roots that go into Kung Fu, martial arts, and just the training instilled to be able to do this dance. It's not only in China, which is important to note, but China just has the most research put into it for the dance. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's super awesome to watch. And if you get a chance, watch a video. Hopefully you all enjoyed my little craft. I definitely will be using this when I'm a teacher. And yeah, hopefully the lion dance this year is still able to happen, even though of COVID. And hopefully it'll help us out in warding away some of the bad things of this year, so that 2021 is amazing. So thank you.